Hello and welcome to this Fafcast. My goodness, I haven't done one of these in a very long time and I am very happy to see you here. You might notice that I am actually in this game in all my glory and in this instance all of my failure too. But we'll come to that. No, quite honestly, what makes this game a really good and epic game to watch is that I did fail, and did I fail hard, so that's a little bit of a spoiler there for you, but sometimes those things need to happen to allow for situations for other people to thrive. This is what I tell myself. So yeah, we got on Canis River, we've got a 5v5, we've got some pretty good players in here. We've got Eco Noob, we've got OK Puck, and some other assorted fellows. So yeah, I like Canis River. It's a knife fight, right? It's a small map. It's you get all sorts of gammas. You got to the T1 player, and we typically see T3 land units as well as often experimentals, and in this instance probably a fair bit more. As you can tell by the length of the cast, this is a long game. So yeah, exciting things should happen. We should probably have a look at the build orders. That's always exciting. So let's have a look at someone good. Not Moon. I'm sorry, Moon. Moon's alright. We got Hershey. We got Puck. Okay, Puck. He is the air player down this side. So he's going to use his mexes. Everyone's doing hide rushes here because I'm just gonna turn the sound down a wee bit because I don't want that to be overpowering. Yeah, let's set down a little bit more. There was no strategic launch detected. That was a lie. So what I like about OK Park is that he's got his engineers out. He did his early build that he needed to do, and then he's just sending his ASU forward to do good where he can do good, because there's a lot of good that can be done in this game. Oop, there he goes into the unknown. There's nothing there. Those footprints are still a cool graphical detail in this game. My goodness. But oh my. There we go, that's things back. Okay, so we've got T1 sprayed out all over the shop, north and south, and things should start happening. We've got air scouts coming out. Yeah, always good to get the air scouts. It's so important to scout what everyone else is doing. And we've already got our T2 maxes up. Yeah, if you don't get your eco up early, very quickly up, then you just fall behind. So to get the first T2 maxes up and out as quickly as possible is so super important. I'm continuing to find, and even more so with the T3 max. I'd like to get my T3 max super early, and it tends to work okay for me. I've found it puts me in a good position. So here, me, yeah, that's me. Okay, Puck and me, we're buddies. We're going to be playing around here in this neck of the woods. Going to be shooting all the T1 things. And we've got... They're pushing mid a little bit. Are they pushing mid? They got two SEUs here. There's a lot going on in this map, especially in the early game. And, well, you know, especially in the later game too. So it's hard to keep track of everything. And I'm hoping I'm going to do a decent enough job in doing that. We've got their air player going up on 4 T2 maxes here. How's OK Puck doing? He's a little bit behind. He did say his SEU walking, so maybe that's part of the story. Why he's a little bit behind Eco Noob. So everyone's going out, doing the reclaim, sending things out. We've got Hershey just chilling, upgrading, not chilling, upgrading. So that's great. I have no idea if that's a T2 engineer upgrade or a gun. I don't know. Nope, I don't know. And we have got Eco Noob up here with Meta Noob going up against Imeric. And oh my goodness, if they catch him during upgrades, they might really cause some trouble if they both would just charge at him. But they've either not noticed or haven't bothered, which is a shame because they could really have messed them up. Well, I mean, a shame, but okay. So here I am. That's me, the purple guy, charging up here. I see he's upgrading, and I'm like, This is what you do to people who upgrade. You push and you push hard. And I think I asked or suggested that Puck could come and help. Maybe it's a little bit of a shame that he didn't, but didn't quite do what I hoped to achieve here. But he got the upgrade anyway. So it must have been the engineering suite's upgrade. But just trying to cause some trouble. We've got a bomber up here. T1 bombers early on can cause so much trouble and just really put me on the back foot. So that's great to see. And some more raiders down here. Just 1 or 2 T1 units in the wrong spot can just make people's day unpleasant. for such an old game, this game is just beautiful. Yep. Whoop, there we go. Hey, is that a TML already? So, you know what they say in the tooltip, as soon as you get T2 engineers, build a TML. TMD. I mean, TML works too. Ooh, that's good. But so we got, yeah. That's really gonna upset EcoNoob quite a lot. You really need to get those TMDs up fast, especially on a game like this, with this kind of rating of players, because they will get that TML quick, and if you don't have TMD covered, you'll just get punished, and that's just the way it works. As soon as another one. That TML is definitely paying off. That's Hershey doing that. Doing some good work there. That's 5 kills, so maybe some Master just not also T1. T2 maxes rather. So yeah, I'm still here, just chilling. Just trying to secure the position. And behind this, I know I'm ecoing very hard. It's easy to tell you what I'm doing because I did it and I remember doing it. I'm definitely not trying to focus this on what I'm doing or not doing. We have got Moon up here on the right hand side. But let's focus on the air players because that's really... They run the show. I killed all Exos, Ecos, Maxes. Yes, you did, Hershey, and it made me happy. It made me appropriately happy. Oh no, there was a... yeah, I think that got it. Sometimes TML tactical missiles can't hit terrain, and that's just annoying. Denied. Yeah, T3 strap bombers, they can also hit terrain. Sometimes it can just get in the way, causing trouble up here. I love it, and I think I definitely go for that T2 mess. I don't remember if I get it, but just I have the T1 units. Try and using them. Almost trying to pretend to be much more aggressive than I really am. Trying to get the illusion of being aggressive, and behind it just ecoing really hard, because ecoing hard wins you the game later on. That's what I tell myself. So, yep. Still T2 maxes here. We've got a little bit T3. How's OK Puck doing? OK Puck. He's gonna beat EcoNoob to a T3 max, so that's great. Yeah, go T1. Go T1 tanks. It's just annoying. Actually, no. Taking out T2 max and T1 units is more than annoying, but it is also both annoying. Okay, so what is happening here? No clear advantage in the air yet. We've both into swift wins, so it's difficult, right? If you aren't Aeon to play as the air player, because you get access to the T2 air player as swift wins. You get mercies, and if you don't, you just have this advantage, especially in the T2 air phase. So it seems like everyone's just hunkering down a bit. We've got the lines settled. We've got this is their half and this is our half, and that's just the way it is. I'm being a coward in the water, upgrading something. Who knows? No, it's an engineering suite, I remember. And we've got... I don't know how to pronounce that name. Relgrim Surk. I don't know. I'm not going to try that again. From right now, you are Relg, or the white person. I think the white person is easier, because we can see that he is both white and not who he is, because just by his name, that is who he is. So that got pinged. Maybe reclaim it for the mass, I think, because when you got T2P gens, it's the T1 mass, I mean T1P gens to generate power, it's just really inefficient. So build your T2P gens and then extract or reclaim the T1P gens and build more T2P gens. It's just more mass efficient. It's like a little present. No one is doing anything noteworthy. We've got Vipers coming up. The Vipers, as we all know, are great because, especially against UAF, because the TMDs, those Viper missiles, they just split, right? I actually quite like this. He's, creating a little horde. He's not shown one by one, giving him a chance to build TMDs, but he's going to come up with a hammer blow, just all 5 at a time, just go roar with tactical missiles, and you have to do the sound effects. More T1. I don't know about this at this point. It's too late in the game to still be building T1 units. It's a mistake. I should definitely progress towards at least T2 and push into T3 at this stage. If I was a better person, it might be worthwhile to control K them and just reclaim them. So we got the Vipers coming in, trying to get rushed in with some T1 to chase them off. They were successful, but the Vipers are... Yeah, Flapjacks are perhaps one of the best counters for Vipers. Just launch missiles back at the Vipers and kill them. Definitely one of the more effective options. TMDs for the UF just aren't that great. But who is this? Imeric. He's wise to that option, and he has got TMD up ready, so definitely causing trouble there. Let's have a check on our airplay heroes. What is Okepak up to? T3 P-Gens, we got T3 Air, we've got T3 Air here. Are there any actual... Yes, we've got some scouts up. I don't think... nope, it's... yeah, a few ASFs there. It's hard to tell with all the little... What are those called? They're not chevrons, they're like... I have no idea. Little white dots. It's quite easy to tell the difference between 1 and 3, but you got 1s and 2s and 3s. But, no, okay, Puck definitely... No, I don't know. I don't know who has the lead in ASFs. I wanted to tell you, but I can't. Or we can look up here. Eco-wise, Hershey is just screaming ahead. Why? Why? Just T3 Maxes. He has just ecoed. He hasn't really built all that much. He had some really effective play with the TML, and then he just ecoed behind it, and that was great. Yeah, Hershey says we should make Navy. In a pond, you know what's really annoying in a little pond is governors. And I oblige. They are just so terribly annoying to deal with. A lot of T1 scouts. Gotta keep make sure to know what the enemy is up to. We've got some gunships here. But the only fighting that's really happening over here is these Vipers, and they're not doing particularly well. I like the theory. Execution was a little bit lacking. The Flapjacks were a very effective counter. You can kill them, and it is effective. So there's a lot of ecoing going on. Hey, Percy's! Percy's are great. They're just like the best thing. Monkey Lord, I'm not interested. Percy's. You know what kills a Monkey Lord? Percy's kill a Monkey Lord. We have got Omni, that's great. Get Omni out. Let's check Eco Noob and Hershey are actually on par. Okay, Park is actually a fair bit behind, which is less good for Team South. Obviously, if Team South has fewer resources, that's obviously less good for Team South than Team North. But sometimes you just have to state the obvious. This is a very brave gunship. I don't know what he is doing, but he thought better of it and decided to be cowardly instead and run away. Which is for the best. I have no idea what he's doing. But I like it. Sometimes when you just micro just one unit, you can just be a nuisance, right? If you're not particularly microing anything like Hershey isn't, because he's just eco in the back of it, just build one T2 gunship and just do what you can. Force other people to react to you. You know, trade your micro with some of their micro. Just do something, right? Do something. Yeah, I built the governor. That's great. Especially to support the Vipers. And here I go. I start taking out what T2 maxes I can, and completely denies this area of the map now to North Air. And if you just get enough of them, you'll break everything. They're amazing. Governors are perhaps one of the biggest reasons why I like to play UEF are Governors and Perseus. They're the best. They can take out all air, and that grounded attack missile is just... I can't get over how much I like Governors, and that is just a thing. What's happening over here? We've got a missile launcher, so that's fun. Are there any SMDs up yet? We got a Monkey Lord coming out, that's fun too. What do we have over here? We've got SMD up here. Okay, that's a thing that's happening. And yeah, so we're 21 minutes into the game. We're fighting with Tier 1 because I don't know why I'm fighting here. I guess I'm just trying to do something, right? It's the worst thing you can do is sit back and not do anything. So I'm just trying to... I've got the Perseus here. And I think my thinking was, yes, I remember now, is that, hey, he built all these TMDs, so he has no land defense. And I was totally right. So I can just charge these things in here and hopefully break this position. it mostly works. So that's good. Just building up a critical mass of governors. Still Vipers here. Emmerich, I think your plan isn't working. For the most part. He does have T3 maxes, so he's got the eco, so that's fine. We've got these gunships here, which is fine too. These governors are just causing trouble. Yeah, and I completely pushed off this position here, so that's... Yay, go me! I did the thing, I was helpful. Yep, overcharging Perseus. That's always super effective. I'm actually... Oh no, that's not what I wanted at all. Control V? Yeah. Oh no, don't be on the shield. I'll get better at this. Hey, that's not bad. Okay, so yeah, this is all cleared up. I've got cruisers in the middle, completely dominating the central area. Breaking this position, it's forced him to go T3 mobile RT to deal with the cruisers. And I think things start really getting spicy, so I'm going to go down to the normal speed. So I guess this is kind of where you normally expect a Canis 5v5 match to someone to be a clear winner, right? Normally it's a result where at least somewhere someone's won an advantage on the left hand side or the right hand side, or often both. But not here. Everyone there's been no decisive victory really. Well, I won't call that decisive, but the left is holding, the right's not really pushing. I think Moonbase is mostly going air. We've seen some experimentals now, but the positions are entrenched. Maybe... Well, Hershey ecoed really hard, which is great to see, but he was allowed to eco, right? And for the same thing... The economies that we just have on the map are just crazy. Who's one person who didn't eco? It's this guy. He was my opponent. He did lose the middle position over here, but he is still upgrading some mexes, so he's definitely a bit behind. We've got a nuke launcher here as well. So we've got 2 nuke launchers up. We've got 2 SMDs up. Things are definitely going to get explodey. Yeah, Hershey's pushing forward. So once you've upgraded your T3 mexes, right, what do you spend your resources on? You spend your resources on things that can kill the enemy. Yes, you do. So yeah, we've got some experimentals up. Everyone's in consternation about the nukes. Is our SMDs up? Is theirs up? We don't know. But I'm just thinking that just slowly move the governors forward, keep killing things, and all will be well. He can target you with his nuke. I'm not entirely sure who he's talking to. Perhaps it was me. Or perhaps it was Hershey. This is the problem with investing in a large area that isn't in your main base, is that the nuke will force neat SMDs everywhere, right? That's the one advantage. That's the real advantage about a nuke in big team games, is that it's you don't just force one player to build an SMD. You have to force players everywhere to build an SMD. So we got a nuclear launch detected. Let's see who that is. Boom. So yeah, we launched it, and so so much suspense. All the hopes and dreams of all the South team are riding on this nuke. Will it go through? Will it do what? No. Nope, it didn't. But this nuke is nearly ready. So we got a Yotha, and that is not appropriate language. So yeah, a Yotha versus Monkey Lord in this many Percivals loses. That's just the way the world works. Does the Monkey Lord survive? No, it doesn't. It was close. But hey, that's wreck. And that is so much record. So we've got this nuke coming forward. And yeah, so I was like, hey, we've got SMD. Is our SMD loaded? Yeah, our SMD is loaded. Everything is fine. Everything is safe. I've got the middle here. I've got my cruisers here. Everything is going fine. Except this. I forgot my commander. So that happened. I wish it didn't. But this is my thinking, right? My failure and incompetence allowed the game to develop into what it now becomes. and sometimes there's nothing more that you can say than whoops. It was just, I done fucked up, and there's nothing more to say about it really. There's a lot of wreckage here, and I think I suggested to my allies that, hey, maybe we should try and reclaim this wreck field of my remains. So on the left hand side, Hershey has still pushing forward with his T3 RT, which is great. He's definitely making progress. T3 mobile RT can be really annoying. So why is he sending him mass? I don't know. Well, we've got some more experimentals going up. I don't know why that needed flaring. It is not loaded. It is going to be loaded soon. And we've got a GC coming forward. Okay, so South seems to have a lot of air. Moon is going heavy air. I'm not really quite sure what White's been doing. Although he's pulling ASFs too, so that's the thing that's been going on. I really like this. Purple, who is General Cozy, is like, hey, that wreck field is important. I'm not gonna just be lazy. I'm gonna, put in the effort. I'm gonna load my engineers and transports. I'm gonna get them there, and I'm gonna reclaim. And I don't care for naught what goes on in the sky above. We're all about claiming the wreck, and I like it too. You can transport in some engineers too. So North team really was on the ball in terms of getting those wrecks. I guess the paddle just isn't deep enough. So this is crazy air fight, hey? Some serious air fleets, but everyone's... yeah, OK Park definitely dominated the air battle there. White's air power just wasn't in the fight, which probably would have annoyed his allies, but no one knows. Well, sometimes you just don't know why some things happen. Like this, right? Charging your T3 mobile RD into point defenses is not advisable. I guess he just did Control L and right click, or he had more important things to focus on. Yeah, I like harassing the engineers, but I really wish these guys would have brought in their own engineers. Bringing in a SSCU is fine, but engineers would have been better. Thank you, OK Park. That wasn't scripted at all. That was just... that just happened. Hey, Fat Boy in the GC. Oh my. And the Earth are here. So, Lions and Tigers and Bears, oh my. So North team definitely... They definitely have the upper advantage in experimentals. South side has air power. It's got a horde of T2 gunships. And a Duke. A Duke is happening. So that's fun. The map is so small, right, that we go T3 RD. Although it's probably worth mentioning that I haven't really seen it happen much on this map. Perhaps there's a good reason why it doesn't happen. But I always feel that if you have this position here, right, and you just push forward a little bit, you can build a T2 RT fire base here, and then you don't need to use T3 RT. You can use T2 RT to bombard into the base, or T3 mobile RT. But for some reason, that doesn't really happen. I've tried it a few times, but it's ended dismally, just because I'm kind of a lone ranger trying to do that. But I've always thought that is probably a good plan, but I haven't seen it executed effectively before. Maybe there's a reason. That GC is thinking better of it, and has definitely seen better days. His future is not bright. And he somehow survived. Come on, Moon. Like, I was trying to do a cast thing there, and it was about how this GC was going to be dead, but I lied. That GC is going to see better days. That's going to ruin the Viper's plan. Got annoying bricks in the puddle. Going to be denying the wreck to everyone else. We have got... Who's that? That's Moon's... Was Moon's SSCU. Yeah, got some T3 land. Harassing down here. Puck isn't going to be happy with losing those mexes. I feel these should have been built much sooner. Only T1, so that's a bit disappointing. Maybe OK Park was overflowing in mass. Who knows? I don't. I could have checked, but I didn't. So, okay, what is happening? Southside, we are building a Duke. Well, not me anymore. We've got a nuke. I swear it was loaded. Did I miss a launch? I might have done. It might not have hit anything. We've got an Ashwasher coming up. But it's a bold move building an Ashwasher. Awasa? When you're coming against so much air forces. South side definitely has the air advantage. North side doesn't have it. Building an emissary. We've got a Duke coming up over here. So the Duke is up, and they're building an emissary. So that's 1 point to south side. Where's this nuke going? But north side is onto it, right? They've got an anti-nuke here. They've got an anti-nuke. No, that's a TMD. Hey! That exploded, and I don't think it killed much. Oh well. Sometimes you've got to try. Hey, we got 2 nukes. We got yeah, that's why I got confused. We got 2 nukes. Okay, so boom. So where's the Duke being targeted? Probably for the SMD. That makes sense. Got shields coming up, so yeah, it's always awkward. What are the best targets for the Duke? I think I tend to favor just blowing up things that aren't shielded. Like targeting his PGens probably would have been good, but if you can get the SMD done, then the nukes can kill the base and basically win us the game. But we don't have a nuke loaded, and they're going to be building shields quite quickly, and it's quite easy to, at this point with this kind of build power, to build enough shields to tank a Duke, but they didn't. Well, at least yellow was really slow to build more shields after he knew he was being duked, which he still might get lucky with the shots, but he needs to build shields so much more effectively than he is doing. So he's definitely not doing a good job in that, I would say. Ugh. Yep, that SMD is not looking good. He needs so much more build capacity building shields. Okay, so I like that, right? Sometimes people are always a bit hesitant to give experiences to each other, but Yellow, or Kof Noob, he gave his Ashwasher to Grey Player so he can control, you know, all the air. So they're probably going for the Duke with the Awasa. So, oh dear, it's always difficult to do. Oh my. So that happened. Okay, so it crashed off map, it targeted the nuke, it killed it, the Duke survives. The air doesn't, presumably. I don't think we have any SAMs, it's a huge shortcoming. Even a few SAMs here would have done a great thing. Speaking of giving units, Moon gave his T2 gunships to OK Park, and we don't think he realized for the longest time. Peter tested me. OK Park is building GCs, and Borders. Yep, and he likes them, he's got 2, and he's got more coming, so GCs are great. So is the Duke doing things? The SMD is still alive. Where is the Duke firing now? He's going after the emissary. Again, shielded, maybe a bit too much. I definitely feel that if the Duke, at this point, even though he has an emissary up, more effective targeting things that aren't shielded, like killing the P-Gens and the Mexes, that's my personal preference. Obviously, if you can kill the emissary, that would be better, but it's as I say, it's quite easy to shield an emissary against 1T3. But ooh, Azar. This game is out of control. We've got nukes exchanging, we've got T3 RT changing, we've got Aswasas crashing, we're going to have a Tsar, and I think OK Puck actually lost a hell of a lot of ASFs in that fight. If we had some SAMs, I think that probably would have really helped. We're getting them now. Speaking of shielding Dukes and RT, it's quite easy, but this one is very much not shielded enough at all. So that's a problem. Yeah, this base here, south side, is not in a position to cope with an emissary, and this Duke isn't in a position to kill the emissary either. So maybe this Duke could have... He's got some kills, but... I've seen it so often, right? It's so easy, and it's a mistake to do, because you feel like, hey, can the RT break? And sometimes it can, sometimes it can't. And if it can, it's good, but if it can't, then you're really not doing much. So I think he's changed targets. He's given up on killing the emissaries, targeting the P-gens. So I definitely like that. Only chance now, I think, is to rush in with the 4 GCs. I said that! I think I'm quite pessimistic at this point in the game. Yeah. So, yeah. I like these guys. These guys are chilling. They're on a holiday. So, yeah, nuke. Okay, so we're launching this nuke. Okay, Puck is launching that nuke. Where is it going? I don't know. But, okay, yes. So, so even though you have a nuke up, right, it has only quite a small range. And if you target your nuke just outside the range, and that's what he's trying to do here, you can actually kill things that are inside the circle of the range. But I think there was an MSD there that wasn't scouted. Jeez, I didn't even see where it came from. It's here somewhere. There it is. So cluttered. Space, just physical space on this map is at a premium. Everything's so cluttered. I don't like the fact that these aren't T3 maxes. They could have easily been T3 maxes by now. The Duke is still alive, fortunately. Shields are coming up. I would have liked them to come up much quicker, but when you're dead, you don't get to have opinions. Because you're dead. That's my personal philosophy. Is I just want the Duke killing things. I don't like seeing Dukes wasted or just T3 RT just wasted pummeling shields when there are things to kill. And often, if you can kill the power grid, you can take down the shields because of power storing. And it's very difficult to put enough shields to protect all your P-gens from what T3 RT there is. So what is actually going on? What's Hershey doing up over here? He's building another Duke, so that's great. Oh no, but he has no power. Yeah, I think he's power storing horribly. T2 P-gens, they're great, right? You can build them much more quicker, but for the amount of physical space that they take up, they give much less shield capacity. Oh, this is a good airfight for North. This is not what you want to be doing. Oh no. Okay, Parker's just going to lose all of his ASFs. Sam's going to do some work, but yeah, we definitely lost air control ever since that Awasa came in. I think okay, Puck changed his eco to GCs and now we don't have air control. I'm not criticizing that decision at all because we have 6 GCs. You gotta love it. 6 GCs, just like, yeah. Are they enough? I think so. Does Puck think so? The horrible thing about this is that if you go in and you're wrong, you just basically lose the game. You've just given him a whole bunch of mass. So it's really important to only go in when you know, when you're confident that you can win. We've got a Tsar coming up because why not? That's an experiment we have not seen yet. So north side, they're building air, they're building a Yotha, they're not building another T3 RT yet. Oh jeez. Hershey, build your shields quicker. Use these engineers, they're over here that can help. Oh, that was good that missed. If RT was more accurate, this game would have gone differently, I think. Not just because of that shell, but because of all the shells before. Oh my, the GCs are going in. Nope, they are cowardly. They're thinking better of it. And as I say, I don't hate this decision because I don't know if they would win. They might not win. And if they don't win, then OK Park will just throw the game away. So he's playing cautious with them, which I don't mind at all. But getting harassed by T1 bombers. Oh, that's annoying. T1 bombers, if they're mass, are actually fairly effective against experimentals, and that's something that's not always realized. It's something I've only learned very recently, and I learned that the hard way, and it made me sad. The RT deal is definitely picking up. This Duke is still somehow surviving. But Hershey is desperate for power, and at some point you need power to make shields go. So it's awkward. Okay, so the GCs are alive. We've got one on very low health. If OK Park is able to just keep him behind, right, he can still do all of his DPS, and he's got enough GCs to tank. But is OK Park satisfied with this amount of GCs? I think he is. I think he's actually satisfied that he has enough GCs, and now he's going back to ASF, which is probably for the best because Azar is coming. and it's getting help, and this is going to be ready soon, and Tsar crashes ruin people's days. Make air and Sam. You are right, Mr. Puck. Okay, so everyone's just turtled, right? There's no little bases out in the front. They've all been, or had they existed, they've just been killed. And there's no real point building them either, because you have to have an SMD to defend it. And then to get the SMD up to warrant its expenditure, to have enough there to defend it, it's a horrible calculation to do, and most people just, it's not worth it. Just build things underneath what SMDs you have. So we've got a disrupt, another T3 RT over here. We've got one over here. The PG is no longer existent, and another one over here. Moon's building another T3 RD. So south side is committing hard to T3 RD. We've got enough GCs to defend. The Tsar is a problem. What's North doing?
Strategic launch detected.
Okay, so sometimes just do a Hail Mary, right? Throw a nuke out. Maybe you'll kill something expensive. That's the point. You don't necessarily have to try and kill the base, but as long as you kill things that are expensive, and this might be expensive. Oh, this is glorious. Oh, that's gonna hurt. That was great. That was a very, very effective nuke. So good job to whoever's nuke that was. That was, got two fat boys, a herd of T3 land. Herd. Yes. T3 land now comes in herds. That is the collective noun for T3, is a herd. Not the most imaginative collective noun. Like a murder of crows is usually more spectacular or more fluffy. This is, when do you see such a large group of GCs, right? And one's on fire. Just this kind of concentration of force just wins games, typically. But that's glorious. That's the Tsar coming in. That's the Tsar coming in, and oh dear. Normally Tsars are used for crashing, right? That's the main. That's what they do. You use Tsars to crash. You don't use Tsars to kill GCs, but that's what's happening here. And Puck is committed, and we can't kill the Tsar. It's on 10% or whatever it is. It's just gonna get vet now, and we still got 5 GCs. The Tsar isn't gonna keep able to kill these GCs fast enough. That is certain sure. Oh no, I'm not very good with the cameras yet, but we'll get there. And there's some Tsars in the enemy base, and these GCs are just charging in there with reckless abandon. But and some Yothas are coming in from behind, so this is a disaster. They really have to. They're not gonna get anything done. They're not gonna get anything done at all. And there's Tsars in the way. Oh, this is just terrible. Because now what they've done is that it's just a gift of so much mass. That's like 100,000 mass in there. I think. Yeah. Okay. Park is calling GG. Hershey says no play. But this was this absolute disaster. That's like 120,000 mass just gift to your enemy and didn't even do anything, and then we lost the protective capacity of what those GCs are, and the Tsar, adding insult to injury, is still alive. Like a flying donut does. Whew boy. Okay, what did Eco Noob say? He just said yes. They must be on comms. Okay, so the T3 RT is definitely breaking through. Maybe the GCs help to weaken the shields. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think maybe we just have more T3 RT now. We've got 2 here. This one's about to finish. And oh dear. Probably it would have been better if this mass was in that RT to have gone up a little bit better. But coordinating is always very difficult. And we're still at only 44 minutes. This game continues. There is still so much more. Hey! This gun does not look functional. If your gun was on fire like this, would you try and shoot it? Because if you did, it would end poorly. This is just some general good advice. If your gun is on fire, get the fuck away from it. It will not go well for you. For some reason, I just got like terrified that that was an actual ACU. Okay, I say focus RT, we need land experimentals, rush GCs and such. The problem is we just need more of everything. But we have to kill that Tsar. And here Moon in goes with his ASFs. Just suicide in there trying to kill the Tsar, but the Tsar has so much vet now. And now Hershey is in serious danger of actually dying to the Tsar. And we've got this horde of ASFs just... It's getting so desperate he's put Cougars. Cougars are great, right? But the Tsar just beams it with its beam death. And Hershey is over here. They don't know, I think, that thing just has to fly over there and they can kill Hershey. I don't think they realize just how vulnerable that is. Obviously, if the Tsar will die if it comes over here, but its crash could do a lot of damage. Oh goodness, and these gunships are just... Oh dear, they made a poor life choice. So Team South has the ASS, right? Or the T3I, not the ASS at all. But it's an interesting choice, running away with the Tsar. It's not a choice I would have made. I would have definitely gone for the crash. Oh dear. Okay, I'm sorry, I missed this. What's happening here is, in an utter rage of desperation, we're targeting the ACUs with the T3 RT, and that worked. So if you collect all 3 RT together, where's the other ACU? Here he is. I think that's what happens here. We're targeting all of the RT on this ACU here. So this has completely changed the dynamics of the game. Another player, another ACU is just down, and the Tsar with it, right? We killed the Tsar by killing the ACU, and all of a sudden Team South is back in this game. So I think that's 4 RT, all focused on this ACU, and he doesn't even realize. He doesn't even realize. There he is. And does he realize? There he is. He's not moving. There, yeah. 2 of those takes. Wow. Okay. So yeah, the swings and balances in this game. Sometimes you just have to just go for the Hail Mary, right? Just right click on the ACU. Maybe something will happen. If he moved around a little bit, or if he had juked, just walked about, definitely had a better chance of surviving than standing still. So, and all the while Hershey is down here, having fun times with Yothas. This is not a good situation to be in, Mr. Hershey. Yotha, I think maybe you want to focus Hershey. And Hershey goes down! Oh jeez. And with that, Duke is going to explode too. Oh no. Oh. So now we're focusing on White's ACU, but we've lost those 2 Dukes from Hershey, right? So that's not going to work anymore. And we've got these Yothas coming in, but there's a juicy block in his path saying, no, he shall not pass, but this looks balanced. And there's another one right behind. GC's going to lose. Hey, we're getting mercies. That's when you're really desperate, when you're trying to kill. You're trying to kill and experiment with mercies, and the mercies aren't getting through. They're getting taken up by the flak, which that's really ineffective actually. He needed to have clumped them up and gone through in the batch rather than one by one, because it seems like a Yotha's flak is enough to make sure that the mercies don't actually do any damage at all. That one got through, so he definitely needs to clump them up. This isn't working at all. Run, ACU. Yes, too close to the Yothas. Oh no. And this mega lift isn't even operational yet. And all the while, we're bombarding here and trying to explode things. Oh jeez. And just to... oh, that's an SSU, that's okay. Okay, but the Yothas are dead, but they've taken out huge parts of the base, and they're gonna do their shooting exploding nonsense that they do. It's so annoying because I just want to reclaim the Earther, but they're like, no, there is a 15-second denial to Earther reclaiming. So what's Northside got going for them? Wow. So they lost 2 players for Hershey, which was an incredibly good trade for Southside. Things are exploding. There's a fat boy there. Oh, the megalith is up. I was worried that it was going to survive. That fat boy needs to make some better life choices. Either go for the disruptor and GTFO, or just GTFO. Okay, so he's committed. He should kill this now, right? If he just stays committed. Just stay committed. Nope, the shields are back up. So I think. Well, you gotta stay committed. There's no survivor in the situation now. You will die. Okay, so we've got the RT from the south side. This is okay. This is optimism personified. This is just hope. But it's really great to see everyone still so committed to this game. Everyone is still just in this. They're fighting hard. Everyone's trying hard. This is just a great game. Yeah. So what's that's the sound I make when I'm not entirely quite sure what to say. So basically, there's just so much mass in this map. There was a generous donation of mass to Northside. Well, there's a Tsar here. There's basically, you know that Gap of Rohan game where there's just a ton of experimentals in the middle? This has kind of happened, right? There is so much mass on the map that no one has the power or the build capacity to really make use of it. So the thinking now is that just keep throwing GCs in, right? Because they already have more mass than they could possibly reclaim. So giving them another GC worth of mass doesn't really give them an advantage because they already have as much mass as they could possibly need to reclaim. So what's happened now is that I made the suggestion, yeah, or me, I'm making, no I'm kidding, I made the suggestion that the T3 RT be given to one player, and just I chose Moon because I was on comms with him. So having all the T3 RT in control of a single player just gives a huge benefit in terms of coordination and making sure that their RT fire is concentrated on the same spot, and it is such an important thing to do. It can win and lose games if the T3 artillery is not coordinated effectively. So everyone's having power issues, I think. Yeah, personal preference. I much prefer T1 P-gens around the RD because it gives more physical space to build the shields. If you have a T3 P-gen, I think the bonus to the rate of fire for the artillery is exactly the same, but if you have a T3 P-gen next to the artillery, firstly, it takes up much too much space, and secondly, it makes a bigger boom when it dies. But this is all nicely shielded up. We've got this artillery here, which is all nicely shielded up too, I guess. Oh boy. So we've got more experimentals just flying around the map. We've got a megalith here, we've got a GC here. Okay, Pike is building more GCs. I don't think I've seen so many GCs being built in a actual competitive map. And still, the game continues. A Duke is up over here, which is relatively unshielded. Maybe, I think, Mighty Noob is also having power issues. So after that spurt of excitement, we've regressed back to the traditional T3 R2 deal, which is not traditional at all on Canis. This is not how this map is supposed to go at all. But hey, we're going for our own Tsar here, go Moon. Maybe that'll do things. Just spamming ASFs. So yeah, Southside has air again. Maybe we can use it to our advantage. Oh boy. Can't believe how long this game is going on for, and it's 3v3, right? It started out as a 5v5, but now we've turned it into a 3v3 game. I died very early on. Then we killed 2 back players with artillery. Then Hershey died, and definitely swings and roundabouts in terms of the balance in this game. So I like this, denying the mass. It's so important. Even though there's so much mass on the map, just just, you know, deny it. Don't give your enemy anything, right? They're the enemy. It's the opposite of what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to give them artillery shells. That's an optimistic restorer. Yeah, the artillery went down, but straight up, gonna try and rebuild it. We've got a Duke up over here. Where are you shooting, Mr. Duke? I think there's just trying to break this shields over here, but it is not working. And yeah, that's a quantum reactor. We've got it's a bit too cluttered here, but we're going to try and get another T3RT over here, another Duke, because you can never have too much T3RT. You've got a GC over here, another GC, go puck. And just go in here. There is nothing in the way, Mr. Puck. You have a clear route to the artillery, and you can just wreck phase, and there's nothing in the way, and you can just go in. And yeah. So at this point, Southside definitely, I think, has the advantage in the fact that they just have more T3RD at 2. That's not much. They had 2, I think, when that was alive, but the GC's coming in. There's a lot of shields. Killing T1 engineers with your gravity hands. And Percy's, and there's probably some overcharge going on as well. And didn't really want. Jeez, imagine so much damage to that GC. The GC managed to completely take down the shields and damage the Hoverthomb, but it's technically still alive. But I think north side here is just going to crumble to the barrage that is the artillery from the south. I don't think... Hey! There was a Duke here, I think. Or was it not placed? I think the hopes and the dreams of it being placed, but it was not placed. Do we have a nuke here? We do not have a nuke. We do not. The Zara has been very slowly built. So, south side has 2 artillery pieces, north side has 1. They have a lot of mass. But the artillery just keeps taking its toll. That's probably power issues. I think at this point, just if you can keep denying the T3P gens, then you can basically just deny them economy, because you can't split mass without power unless you have a ton of SACUs, like Meta Noob has. Yeah, get the P gen. So I like this. I like just using the restorers, trying to do what you can around the map. Another GC, because that one sort of worked. Well, they're trying to rebuild it. So I think so it's taken damage, right? So look, I'm not sure. I think you can, if it takes damage while it's being built, then it becomes completed with damage taken. So I'm not sure when this will become finished, but I think it might be finished sooner than we expect. Hey, the shields here are breaking. Another Duke here. That's not going to work. The shields are down. Yeah, it's hard because you need the T3 shields, but you need the T2 shields quicker because they're quick to build. So you just need shields, and then you place the T2 shields, but then you have no shield power. Nice control of air up over here. Hey, the Tsar's ready. Maybe you can crash into something expensive like the other Tsar didn't. My goodness, if that Tsar had chosen a different life choice, instead of if that Tsar just chose to crash into the base, I think that would have been game over for the south side. But who was to know that the Tsar controller was about to die to artillery snipes. It's not really artillery snipe. You can't really snipe with artillery because you know it's about it. You know it's there. You know it exists. Just throw in experimentals. Just kill things. Make their life hard. Make it difficult to build things. Hopefully do some damage. I don't think this makes any damage at all. But if you can just kill a few P-gens, right? That's probably enough. Never a poor choice at this point in the game. So how many artillery do we have? We have 1. Just 2. Gone were the days when we had Hershey alive with his artillery. And North side has 2 artillery now too, so it's actually even again. I think South side's eco position is definitely stronger, although North side has a lot more mass scattered about the map. They've lost air control, and I think the kicker is that the Tsar is hopefully going to crash into their base. Building a 3rd one here. I gotta give it to everyone. They've just, for everyone sticking into this game, this map, this match, it was just great. It was a pleasure to play, and it's a pleasure to watch, and I hope you're having a good time watching it too.
Strategic launch detected.
Okay, this is crash well. I wonder in the original design when they were making this game that they thought that, hey, we're gonna make this experimental unit and its one job is to die. The Duke is not technically dead, but it will be soon, so that's fine. And I think this is definitely, I think it's over now. This has to be over, right? You kill that RT, everything here is dead. They don't have enough power for everything. This has to be the end. Where are you going, Mr. Artillery Shell? That was very missy. Metanoob is alive only because of his shield. But if we focused all of artillery now onto him, I think that would kill him. It wasn't the SCU, it was an SSCU. It was less exciting. Are you alive yet? You are alive, but they've been repaired. So that's probably a waste of mass to actually repair it. But I don't think it can survive now 3 artillery going into this thing. Oh jeez, what didn't this map have? What didn't this game have? Got another GC coming in here. Just kill things, Mr. GC. Go in there and kill things. They have enough mass to reclaim anyway. Your corpse isn't really going to serve them particularly much. And hopefully you can help hurt those shields so we can kill that artillery with the artillery. That's the plan at all, and I think it'll work. I think these 3 players up top they've endured too much. They've been beaten down too much, they've just been losing. They've just lost too much. Losing build capacity, losing power, can't cope with what is happening. But they're stuck in. They're stuck in. And that GC is going to die, but he did some work. And now they've got no artillery up here. They've got no RT up. So we're going to speed it up. Go speed 2. And we're going to see how this game ends. There's another one over here. Because when you don't have enough space, where do you build things? It's not under an SMD, but what does it matter? They don't have a nuke. And there goes the GG, and I think this one is the real one. And I think this really was a GG. This was just an epic game on 5v5 Canis, and I don't really have much more to say. So this is the end. I'm just gonna let it go. Maybe they control K now, which is, I think, fine. So that's that. Thank you for joining me for this Subcom cast, and I definitely intend to do more casts in the future. I say that all the time. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you've been watching my Dominions videos and you stumbled up onto this video, I hope you enjoyed that too. And hope to see you some more in the future. Okay, thanks.